computer. So the last part of the conversation got cut off, but I'm so excited that we basically had the opportunity to set up the framework for positive conversation. And right before we had the piece that cut off, you said, let's play. And so I'm curious to hear what play looks like with positive conversation.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I would love to share this with you. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up to the camera.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see if I hold it like that, maybe you can see.
3 colors?
Yeah, that's right. There are 3 colors. So these white cards in the middle are question cards. So
Okay.
this is how you can ask the right question.
Okay.
And these cards here are the blue is power.
Okay.
And the pink is peace, and they are answers. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So this is Positive Chair. This is the first time that I've ever shared this online. You have the absolute exclusive. You have the scoop, Ilona. I've been out to LA and I've shared this in one-to-ones and in different meetings, and really, really excited about taking this out into the world. And you have the scoop, the complete exclusive. This is the first time.
I'm so honored.
Oh, wow, it's perfect. I couldn't think of anyone that I would rather share it with on the first time. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to hold it to the camera, I'm just going to take the white cards here that are the question cards. And what I'm going to do is shuffle. And then I would like you to say stop when you're ready. Or say ready if you want to say ready. And then I'm going to choose the card at the front. And this is going to be your question. So ask yourself, what is the most positive question that I can ask myself today?
What is the most positive question I can ask myself today? All right, ready.
Okay, that was perfect. This is it. You first. This is what I call you first. So, can you see this?
Okay, how can I make the most positive contribution today?
Lovely. Okay. So how can I make the most positive contribution today? This is all relative, isn't it? This is all contextual. This is a great question. I love this question. It's like, what can I do to make the most positive contribution today? How can I make the most positive contribution today? Okay, that's your question. Now, I would ask you, dear Ilona, would you like to choose your answer from power or from peace? Which would you choose?
That's a great question. I typically would navigate from peace. However, today I'm feeling power.
I knew it. I knew it. I did. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And I would like you to think about your answer. This is your answer. This is going to be a picture. This is going to be something which is really going to open up your mind and your heart to answer the question, how can I make the most positive contribution today? And we're going to talk about it. So you just say ready, and I will stop shuffling this little pile here.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Oh, was that one or that one?
That one, the one you're on right now.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and it is. Oh, I like that. How nice. It's a pile of coins. And the message on the bottom is, let yourself succeed. It's really funny because we were just talking about success, weren't we, a few minutes ago, about persistence and how we were coming back on. And so coins, let yourself succeed. So what do coins mean to you, Ilona?
It means, so a couple of things come up for me. The first thing that comes up for me is abundance, right? Because we typically associate coins, especially the little gold coins, with being in abundance, having enough, being enough. But it's also interesting because the first thing that came to my mind, or the second thing that came to my mind, was my dad used to have an international coin collection. And he used to collect coins from around the world. So I see.
You say your daddy did? Oh, I missed that. Oh, that's so special given what we just talked about. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yep.
Yeah. So I think about, accessing, being in contribution means doing what I need to do. I think things that and I'm not averse to being vulnerable in these public spaces, but I used to not step into the work that I ever wanted to do because I always used to think, well, what will my dad say? Because my dad wants me to do things that are safe. And so I loved my dad, but I also know that I limited how I showed up because I would be afraid of how I would be perceived by him. And I am seeing that just doing what I'm supposed to do and what comes up for me was always my path to success and my path to well-being and safety and financial security. But because he didn't understand what I was doing, I would limit myself in that.
So that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And the very fact that you went straight to those international coins, given what we just talked about, feels extremely pertinent to me, with regards to how can you make the most positive contribution today. My feeling on this is that your dad is saying to you, go build those piles of coins and notes. You go out into the world, you succeed, let yourself succeed.
Yeah.
It's like, go for it. Remember those piles of coins? That's my way of communicating with you. You go for it. You do all the things.
Yeah.
You
And
do
the other,
everything you want to do.
well, and it's another really interesting thing because I keep on really, people talk about how money, you should be ashamed of money and money is
Oh, I like
evil.
money.
Well,
Lovely.
I like it. I'm very comfortable giving it. I've not always been comfortable receiving it. And when I think in the past few months, my mindset about those coins is the more I have, the more I can give to others. So my thought is I want to be financially successful, not just for my sake, but because when I can become successful, then I can invest in my friend's business who does lashes, my sister's friend who does nails, or my other friend who does, health and wellness coaching, and I can be of contribution, which was the question. So it's so funny that that's the question and that's the answer, because I've always said that, I've said in the past few months that I cannot wait to really have more financial abundance because I can't wait to be of more contribution to others through my money.
Wonderful. That's lovely.
So it
So
feels very
thank you.
aligned.
It is very aligned. There are lots of things in there. So given everything that you understand about coins, everything that we've spoken about, when you go back to the question, how can I make the most positive contribution today? What would one thing be that you could do about what you now understand? One thing, one small thing that you could do about what you now understand with the coins.
That's a great question. The first thing is that comes up for me is I'm wondering who I can invest in. How, is there someone out there who's maybe struggling because of what's happening, who maybe need buying their service or their one-time course or something like that could be of contribution to them.
So your positive contribution today could be to support someone else's venture,
Yes.
invest in some appropriate way in something which someone else is doing. That's a positive contribution, and you
Yes.
can send that with the energy of your lovely dad and what it means to you that you will be able to do on a larger scale, perhaps once you have that financial abundance that you're welcoming into your life as we speak.
Yes.
Love it.
Exactly.
So in that case, your question, how can Ilona make the most positive contribution today in the coins? Ilona is making the most positive contribution today by investing in someone else's venture and enjoying the feeling of knowing how she will feel on a more and more regular basis as she becomes more abundant.
Yeah.
And that is all from how can I make the most positive contribution today?
Wow.
A beautiful message from your dad, a memory of permission to be abundant and all of those wonderful coins, and something that you can do now that you'll enjoy, which you are connecting with your own abundance, which you'll be able to develop in the future. And that is the power of positive conversations. That's when you ask the right question, the answer appears, the future changes. Even how can I make the most positive contribution without the answer is something which shifts your perspective. You're asking that question. You're thinking, what can I do that's going to really contribute positively today? And now you have your answer. And that is what Positive Chair is all about. It's about asking questions, and from those questions, having those answers. It's a 4-step method. It's a question, an answer. It's a positive step, which was that thing where you agreed to make that investment. And then the new you is, I am making the most positive contribution today by investing appropriately in someone else's venture and enjoying knowing that I'm doing that, and that will lead to more opportunities to do the same.
This
It's a
is
beautiful
brilliant.
thing. And I would love if anyone was seeing this, because this will mean different things to different people.
Yeah.
these coins, this question will mean different things to different people. And that's what's beautiful about it. When we start to see that we see the same thing, but we interpret it in different ways, it brings unity. Oh, okay, that means that to you. That's really cool. I love that. It means that to me. It doesn't mean you're wrong or the other person is wrong. It just means that that is the way that I see that. And the power of positive conversations is something which I believe we need in this world now more than ever. And the more positive conversations we can have, the more tone we can set to feel creative and powerful and bring our energy into shifting it into a more helpful perspective, the more the world is going to continue to move in a beautiful direction.
I love it.
Well, thank you.
That was amazing. I absolutely love this, and I can say that I feel privileged enough to have the power cards in my
power symbols, yeah.
The power symbols in my possession. I'm curious, is there, and for the people who are watching the replay or here on YouTube, is there a way, what would you recommend best way to get in touch with you, to follow you? How can they get to continue to stay in the vibrational frequency of love that is Ross?
Oh, that's lovely. I would really welcome people to reach out to me through my Roz Place website, rozplace.com. And if you reach out to me there through my contact page or hello@rozplace.com, then I can just keep all of your wonderful interest and enthusiasm there. And when I'm ready to launch Positive Chair, I'll be able to share that with you. We're so at the beginning of this. We're still waiting for the designs to come through. What I demonstrated to you was the starter pack. That's what this is. This is what it looks like just now without the actual logo. But this is the starter pack, so there will be 22 questions, 11 peace, 11 power, and it gives you an instant opportunity to start creating positive conversations with anyone, with your kids, you know, with your co-workers, with your clients. It's actually been developed to be used in salons, so that it was a premium product which was designed to create positive conversations and to really develop client loyalty within salons. And it's part of something which the question I was asked is, when I introduced this, is this a movement or is it a program? And that was Jules who asked that question. She doesn't mess around. And I was really quite taken aback. And I said, well, I think it's both. And I would love to get this into as many people's hands as possible so that they can start asking the right questions and they can shift their perspective into a positive direction. It's the power of positive conversations. Because when you ask the right question, you change the future before the answer even arrives.
And for me, keeping in mind the vibrational frequency of love, when you ask the right questions, not only do you change the future, but you can allow us to access a future that is in the frequency more of love than of fear, which is what we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree completely. And I wrote these because I work with Oracle cards as an Oracle, the founder of Oracle Card Academy. And this is something which I wanted this tool. I was like, I love my cards and I love working with them, but I'm just stuck for a question. Do you know what I mean? When it's like, I'm going to pull a card and what do you want me to know today? Is, you know, it's just such a vague question. And so these questions were what I wanted. I wanted to choose a card and say, how can I reward myself today? How can I make the most positive choices? How can I encourage myself and others today? I wanted those questions. I wonder if your community might enjoy if I were to put up maybe 2 or 3 questions that they could ask.
I would love for you to do that. So yes, definitely. We'll make sure that happens with the replay.
Wonderful.
Awesome. I love this. This has been, I mean, every conversation has been amazing. And this one just was so, so near and dear to the fact that we talked about my dad in the first piece, and then he comes up for me in the second piece. In fact, what you don't know is that another thing, I have a bowl of coins for, feng shui energy. And in that dish, I have some of the coins, the international coins that he would use, are right next to me. So it was very pertinent that came up. Speaking of not having a specific sign, but knowing when the signs come up, it's so much powerful when you're given the sign, but knowing that you still get signs nonetheless.
Well, that feels like a really wonderful sign that your daddy is giving you, that that he's with you from heaven, and that he's helping you, and that he is encouraging you to do all the things that you're doing to succeed. Let yourself succeed, Ilona. The world needs you, lady.
The world needs us all, and to be in the frequency of love. And that's why I created this series, Ross. It's been an honor. I adore you, and I can't wait for everyone in the community to get to learn, to know you a little bit more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.